Good evening, this is GC and English News Edition, and you're watching with me, Nhung Hoi Kim Kong Sai. First, the headlines. Congress asks PM Modi to visit Manipur, demands Amit Shah's resignation. Supreme Court grants Manipur 8 weeks to respond to plea challenging ILP in state. BJP MLA Haokip launches scathing attack on Manipur CM Biren Singh, Home Minister Amit Shah, and PM Modi in exclusive interview. Manipur cabinet resolution sparks outcry over alleged genocide of Kuki-Zo community. Mobile internet suspension extended for 3 days. News in detail. Amid spike in violence in Manipur, the Congress on Monday asked Prime Minister Narendra Modi to visit the troubled state before the parliament session this month and demanded Home Minister Amit Shah's resignation for the double-engine government's complete failure there. Congress General Secretary in charge Communications, Jairam Ramesh, said Modi must first meet an all-party delegations from Manipur and then also called an all-party meeting at the national level ahead of the parliament session starting November 25. Addressing a press conference at the AICC headquarters, here along with Manipur Congress Chief K. Meghatendra Singh and AICC in charge of state Girish Chodhankar, Ramesh demanded that Shah and Chief Minister and Biren Singh must resign. From May 3rd, 2023, Manipur is burning and Prime Minister Modi visited various countries of the world, gave sermons, but could not find time to visit Manipur. So, our first demand is that PM should take time out before the parliament session to visit Manipur and meet political parties, politicians, civil society groups and people in relief camps there, Ramesh said. He said the Congress also demands that the Prime Minister should meet an all-party delegations from Manipur and then also call an all-party meeting be called at the national level. From July 31, 2024, there is no full-time governor. Before that, an SG person was governor, but she was removed within 18 months. We demand that immediately a full-time governor be appointed, Ramesh said. The Congress also alleged that the Prime Minister has outsourced Manipur to the Home Minister. There is a strange jugalbandi between the Home Minister and the failed CM. Why the Home Minister has not taken cognizance of the CM's failure and why has he been attempting to save him, Ramesh said. If the BJP government, the Prime Minister and the Home Minister honestly want to fight the drug mafia, then why do they not act on the cases pending before the court, he said. Adding, the immediate need was for the PM to visit Manipur. The pain of Manipur is the pain of the country. More than 300 people have died and over 60,000 have been displaced. It is a story of the complete failure of the double-engine government, Ramesh said. The BJP got 32 out of 60 seats in the 2022 polls, but within 15 months, Manipur began to burn, he said. The double-engine government has failed and has been derailed. The Home Minister is directly responsible. We want the Home Minister to resign because it is his responsibility, he said. Manipur Congress Chief K. Meghatendra Singh alleged that there is an unprecedented turmoil and complete anarchy prevailing under the double-engine government. He alleged that there is no law and order at all. It is really very painful what the entire people of Manipur have to endure. Abductions of innocent people and killing of innocent people, particularly women and children, is very unfortunate, he said. We can recall the statement of Narendra Modi ji in February 2017, when he said in an election campaign, "Those who cannot ensure peace in Manipur have no right to govern the state." I want to ask the PM, is the double-engine government maintaining law and order? He said Manipur is a state in the Union of India and asks why Modi is neglecting Manipur, which is becoming a forgotten state by this Modi regime. PM never speaks on Manipur. There is a total failure of law and order. The CM has no right to continue. I want to urge the PM to immediately visit Manipur and give an appointment to Manipur leaders, including BJP ministers and Congress leaders, Mekhatendra said. He said gross violations of human rights have happened in Manipur. Chodankar said violence is a tragic byproduct of the rule of a double-engine government. The state has become headless. There is no leader who can take out the state from this violence and unrest, he said. Chodankar said frustration is leading to abductions and violence. It is an indication of the failure of the double-engine government and also a humanitarian crisis prevailing there, he said. There is a complete failure of the PM and CM. The Prime Minister did not find a single day to visit the state. The Congress tried its best to restore peace. Rahul Gandhi visited Manipur thrice and our President, Mallikarjun Kharge, also visited. Our whole leadership kept on raising the issue to contribute to bringing peace in Manipur, Chodankar said. The Prime Minister should engage directly with Manipur's people to cut further destructions and violence, restoring peace, he said. Violence has continued to rock the state as offices of the Congress and the BJP have been ransacked in the hill district of Zirupam, where an identified body was found earlier. The incidents occurred after irate mobs set fire to residences of 3 BJP legislators, one of whom is a senior minister and a Congress MLA in various districts of Imphal Valley, where an indefinite curfew has been claimed. Security forces also foiled the attempt of the agitators to storm the ancestral residence of Manipur Chief Minister on Saturday evening. The Congress has been attacking the Prime Minister for not visiting Manipur, besides slamming the center for its handling of the situations in the ethnic strife-torn northeastern state. More than 220 people have been killed and thousands rendered homeless in ethnic violence between Imphal Valley-based Métis and adjoining hills-based KOHUR groups since May last year. The Supreme Court on November 20 granted the Manipur government 8 weeks' time to respond to a plea challenging the system of Inner Line Permit ILP in the state. It must be mentioned that Manipur is the 4th state after Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland, and Mizoram, where the ILP regime is applicable. Outsiders, including people from other states of the country, need permission to visit ILP regime states. A bench of justices, Hrishikesh Roy and S.V. Ambati, gave time to Manipur after the Council for the State Government sought time. The top court on January 3, 2022 had issued notices to the center and the Manipur government and others on a plea filed by an organization called Amra Bangale. The plea contended that the ILP provides unrestrained power to the state to restrict entry and access of non-indigenous people or those who are not permanent residents of Manipur. The organization said the draconian ILP system is fundamentally opposed to policies of social integrations, development, and technological advancement in the area beyond the inner line, apart from hampering tourism within the state, which is a major source of revenue generations for these areas. The plea has no challenge the Manipur Inner Line Permit Guidelines 2019. It stated that the 2019 order violates fundamental rights of citizens guaranteed under Articles 14, 15, 19, and 21 of the Constitutions, since it grants unqualified power to the state to restrict entry and access of non-indigenous people. In a startling and forceful interview with Karan Thapar for The Wire, BJP MLA Haokip from Manipur unleashed a blistering critique of Chief Minister Biren Singh, accusing him of being a madman, marauder, and a liar, and calling into question his ability to govern impartially. Haokip, One of the prominent Kuki MLAs from the state declared that he and his fellow Kuki legislators would not support the Biren Singh government in any confidence vote, revealing a deep rift within the BJP in Manipur. Haokip's sharp condemnations extended to Home Minister Amit Shah, whom he accused of protecting Biren Singh for less than honorable reasons, a claim he declined to elaborate on, but which he firmly agreed with when pressed. Haokip's comments suggest a behind-the-scenes power struggle, with serious implications for the BJP standing in the region. Furthermore, the MLA took aim at Prime Minister Narendra Modi, calling him a hypocrite for failing to live up to his 2017 statement, which suggested that those who cannot bring peace to Manipur have no right to govern. Haokip, visibly frustrated, asserted that the Prime Minister had failed his job and that the situation in Manipur was deteriorating under the current leadership. The ongoing ethnic violence in Manipur now in its 18 months has once again flared out, with the Kukizao people at the center of the crisis. Haokip pointed to the failure of both state and central authorities to resolve the issue and called for a separate administrations for the Kukizao community, specifically a union territory with its own legislature, as the only viable solution. In the interview, Haokip voiced concerns about the BJP's commitment to Hindutvad, suggesting that it was preventing the party and particularly the Home Minister from adequately protecting Christian Kuki people in the region. This, he said, was a critical factor in the party's inability to resolve the conflict. Despite his outspoken criticism of the top leadership, Haokip indicated that he has not yet left the BJP, expressing hope that center voices within the party would eventually prevail and lead to a change in directions on the Manipur issue. The candidness of Haokip's interview is likely to further foil the political controversy in Manipur and create ripples in the BJP, which is already grappling with criticism over its handling of the state's ethnic strife. With the Kuki MLAs taking a stand against Biren Singh, the future of the BJP's government in Manipur appears increasingly uncertain. The government of Manipur has extended the suspension of mobile internet services in 7 districts for an additional 3 days amid escalating violence in the region. Initially imposed on November 16, the suspension was aimed at preventing anti-social elements from spreading content that could deteriorate law and order. The temporary ban, originally for 2 days, was previously extended by another 2 days. Areas affected include Imphal West, Imphal East, Kakching, Bishnupur, Taubal, Churchampur, and Kangpokpi. While broadband services have been restored to alleviate the difficulties faced by the public and essential services, mobile internet remains restricted to curb the circulation of inflammatory content. On the other hand, the state government has conditionally lifted the suspension on broadband services 3 days after imposing it, considering the hardship faced by common people, healthcare facilities, educational institutions, and other offices. Mobile internet services, however, remain suspended according to an order issued by Home Commissioner N. Ashok Kumar. Amid escalating violence, the administration's claimed the restrictions order in 7 districts on November 16, considering the sufferings of the common people as the internet ban had affected functioning of important offices, institutions, and people who work from home. The state government has made a considered decision to lift suspension in case of broadband services conditionally, the order said. A subscriber shall not accept any connections other than the one allowed, and no Wi-Fi or hotspot shall be allowed, it said. The government, however, decided to keep the ban on mobile internet data according to the order. The administration imposed a suspension on November 16 in 7 districts, Imphal East and West, Bishnupur, Taubal, Kakching, Kangpokpi, and Churchampur for 2 days to prevent anti-social elements from spreading content that might create law and order problems. The cabinet has decided to terminate the membership of the following individuals from the organization, effectively immediately, due to their actions deemed detrimental to the organization's interest. MLA Haokip, alias James, Deputy Finance son of Ngukolet Haokip, New Thelmambi Village. Khupkolal Mate, alias Arjun, son of Thongkangam Mante, Mautak Pailin Village. Thangsat Haokip, Hangsai, Mamong Village. Thangpao Kipgen, alias Roman, son of Wumang Kipgen, Vazing Village. Reasons for terminations are as follows: undermining the organization's principles and objectives, engaging in activities detrimental to organization's reputation, failing to adhere to organization's policies and guidelines. The terminated members are hereby instructed to cease all activities related to organization. They are being refrained from using the organization's name or representing themselves as members. They should return all organizations' related documents and properties. Failure to comply with this directive will result in further action. The organizations will not be responsible for any consequences arising from their actions. The recent cabinet resolution passed by the ruling administrations in Manipur has drawn sharp criticism from the Committee on Tribal Unity, which has accused the state government of being complicit in the ongoing ethnic persecutions and what it calls the mass genocide of the KOHUR community. In a strongly worded statement, KOTU alleged that Chief Minister Biren Singh is the mastermind behind the violence, describing it as a well-orchestrated political charade. The committee pointed to an audio recording in which the Chief Minister reportedly admitted that to his involvement in the atrocities. The recording has been accepted by the Supreme Court of India for further investigations earlier this month, marking a critical turning point in the ongoing conflict. The statement also linked the Supreme Court's decision to investigate the recordings with a recent gruesome crime, the rape, murder, and burning of Josang Kimhar in Zairon, Zuribam. KOTU alleged that the incident was orchestrated to divert public attention from the investigations. They further criticized the Central Reserve Police Force (CRPF) for allegedly killing 11 KOHUR volunteers under the pretext of an ambush, accusing security forces of siding with the majority Metis community. The cabinet resolutions adopted on November 19, 2024 has intensified tensions. Passed in the absence of 10 KOHUR legislators. The resolutions include contentious measures such as the withdrawal of 6 police stations from areas under the Armed Forces Special Powers Act, the abrogations of the suspensions of operations, agreement with KOHUR underground groups, and the removal of Assam Rifles personnel from buffer zones in Jorichampur and Kangpokpi. KOTU denounced these actions as deliberate moves to undermine the rights of minorities and perpetuate majoritarian dominance. The resolution is a biased attempt to pivot accountability away from the ill-conceived political holocaust against the KOHUR community. The statement accused the government of trampling on the constitutional rights of minorities. KOTU also criticized the government focus on the death of 6 individuals from a specific community, calling it a choreographed political drama and a dangerous precedent in the ongoing conflict. They demand that the groups responsible for widespread atrocities such as Arambai Tingle and VBIGs be declared unlawful organizations. According to the committee, these groups have been instrumental in the killing of 218 KOHUR individuals, including women and children, some of whom were allegedly gang raped, decapitated, and burned alive. Victims include a 1-month-old baby, Isak, and 7-year-old boy, Tongsing Hangsing. In its concluding appeal, KOTU urged the government of India to intervene politically to address the deepening crisis in Manipur. They called for constitutional safeguards under Article 2398 to protect the KOHUR minority and ensure lasting peace and stability in the region. The KOHUR Organizations for Human Rights Trust has strongly condemned the killing of 6 Meitei women and children by armed miscreants in Jiribam district, Manipur, calling it a heinous act that must be condemned by all, regardless of ethnicity or religion. In a statement issued today, KOHUR expressed deep sorrow over the loss of innocent lives, while also reiterating its commitment to avoid targeting civilians, even amidst the ongoing conflict in the region. The statement emphasized the need for impartial investigations into the recent killings and demanded accountability from the law enforcement agencies to bring the perpetrators to justice. We beseech the authorities to identify and prosecute those responsible for this brutal attack, said KOHUR in its statement. However, the organizations also highlighted what it termed as a troubling pattern of media and government attention, claiming that focus is disproportionately placed on the deaths of Meitei civilians, while other equally tragic events have been overlooked. KOHUR drew attention to the deaths of KOHUR women and children, some of whom had been subjected to extreme violence, including burning, mutilations, and sexual violence. These atrocities against KOHUR civilians have occurred countless times over the last 18 months, yet they remain largely unreported and ignored, KOHUR said, referencing cases such as the brutal killing of 1-month-old infant baby Isaac and the violent deaths of other women and children. The statement went on to list several incidents of violence against KOHUR civilians, including the murder of Tongsing, a 7-year-old boy burned alive inside an ambulance, and the gang rape and killing of 2 women, Miss Olivia and Miss Florence. In total, KOHUR asserts that over 50 KOHUR women and children have been killed, many of whose bodies have never been recovered. The organizations call for an urgent and impartial investigations into these crimes, which it believes have been overlooked by both the media and authorities. KOHUR also pointed to violent actions of the Meitei community, claiming that the initial violence in Jiribam was sparked by the rape, murder, and mutilations of KOHUR women Jo Sang Kim. The organization described her death in graphic detail, alleging that her body was subjected to horrific violence. In the aftermath, KOHUR claims 10 KOHUR volunteers were shot dead by CRPF personnel, allegedly gunned down in cold blood. While the media's attention is fixed on the recent killings of Meitei civilians, we must also remember the ongoing suffering of the KOHUR people. One such case is the recent murder of Haokip, a KOHUR man who was killed and mutilated in Assam while visiting his pregnant wife in a shelter camp. His death, like so many others, deserves justice, KOHUR stated. The organization also raised concern about the role of Chief Minister Biren Singh in the violence that has plagued in the region. KOHUR questions why conflict seems to be escalated whenever Singh's political issues are brought before the Supreme Court, suggesting that his quest to maintain power may be fueling the violence and leading to loss of both Meitei and KOHUR lives. How many more lives must be lost for the power structures in Delhi and Imphal to take meaningful action? KOHUR statement included. We ask every right-thinking Indian to demand justice and for the authorities to treat all victims equally, regardless of their ethnic background. The organizations call for an end to the cycle of violence and for all human rights violations, irrespective of ethnicity, to be investigated and addressed fairly. Today at 11 a.m., the Indian Army's Mahar Regiment inaugurated a computer center at JB School in Changpikot, marking a significant milestone in promoting digital literacy and skill development in the region. MLA Haokip, a local leader, warmly welcomed Brigadier A.A. Okitwe, the 59th Brigade commander, who unveiled the center's flag. The center is equipped with 7 computer sets and 1 printer, provided under the Indian Army Computer Center for Skill Development Initiative in Changpikot village. This falls under the umbrella of OP Sabhavana 2024-2025 aimed at enhancing skills among youth. Brigadier MLA Haokip emphasized the importance of computer knowledge in today's competitive world, highlighting how social media and computing are interconnected. He expressed hope that the youth would greatly benefit from this initiative. The event featured a gift presentations to Mahar Regiment leader on behalf of the SCO, followed by a heartfelt speech from Brigadier MLA Haokip. Lalam Secretary of KOHUR presented a token of appreciation to Brigadier. The ceremony concluded with a blessing prayer by Pastor Lin Mang, a song by Jesse, and a vibrant cultural dance performance by Changpikot Youth Club. This initiative demonstrates the Indian Army's commitment to promoting education and skill development in rural areas, empowering youth to compete in the digital age. Today, Deputy Minister Zhang Azad Khongsai led a team to inspect electricity connections in the BI zone area. During the inspection, they found instances of meter tampering and bypassing, which is against the rules. The team disconnected the electricity lines of consumers who were found to be stealing electricity and imposed penalties as per Section 50 of the Electricity Act 2003. The Manipur State Power Distribution Company Limited warned consumers that taking electricity illegally will result in disconnections and penalties. Additionally, those found guilty of electricity theft will be barred from getting new connections from the department. Elon Musk-led SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket successfully launched India's heavy communication satellite GS-80, GS-80 and 2 from Cape Canaveral in the US in the early hours of November 19. The Falcon 9 lifted off at 12:01 a.m. on November 19 from Cape Canaveral Space Force Stations in Florida and put the NSIL's GS-80 and 2 through a geosynchronous transfer orbit from Space Launch Complex 40, SLC-40. It is India's first collaboration with Musk SpaceX. According to ISRO, the satellite is equipped with 32 user beams, comprising 8 narrow spot beams over the northeast region and 24 wide spot beams over the rest of India. These 32 beams will be supported by hub stations located within mainland India. The Ka-band ATH-STS communications payload provides a throughput of approximately 48 Gbps. The GS-80N2 satellite features Kaka transporters of New Space India Limited NSIL, which is the commercial arm of ISRO. Its capacity of 32 beams with 48 Gbps throughput will cover India, including Andaman and Nicobar and Lakshadweep Islands, and cater to broadband and in-flight with maritime telecom connectivity (IFMC) service needs of the country. The NSIL in the post on X said GS-80N2, weighing 4,700 kg, has been injected into desired geosynchronous transfer orbit (GTO), and ISRO's Master Control Facility (MCF) has taken control of the satellite. Preliminary data indicates the satellite is in good health. The ISRO added. The payload consists of 3 parabolic 2.5-meter deployable reflectors with multiple feeds generating 32 spot beams over the Indian region using a single feed per beam configurations. Earlier, India relied on France's launch service provider Airspace for heavy satellite launches, but since the company didn't have any operational rockets at present, India opted for SpaceX, whose Falcon 9 rocket can launch payloads of 8,300 kg or 8.3 tons of geostationary transfer orbit. According to SpaceX, it was the 19th flight for the Falcon 9 first stage booster supporting this mission, which previously launched SES-22, iSpace, HOKUR missions. Amazonas 6, CRS 27, Bandwagon 1, and 13 Sterling missions. A 20-year-old employee working at the MyEV electric bike showroom on Rajkumar Road in Bengaluru's Rajazinagar died on Tuesday after a massive fire broke out, police confirmed. The deceased has been identified as Priya, officials reported. The first is believed to have been triggered by a short circuit in one of the electric bikes. According to reports, Priya was serving as a receptionist at the time of the incident, while other staff members managed to escape the building. Priya was trapped inside and suffered severe burns before firefighters arrived. She was later rushed to Victoria Hospital for medical treatment, but succumbed to her injuries. The fire, which began around 5:36 p.m., is reported to have started in the showroom's electric bike section, likely due to short circuit in one of the bike's batteries. The presence of several bikes in the showroom heightened the risk of explosions and further damage. The Fire and Emergency Services Control Room received an alert about the blaze at a building near Nafrang Bar Junction on Rajkumar Road at 5:36 p.m. 3 fire tenders were dispatched at 5:37 p.m. A firefighter told DAs. The fire has been extinguished. Emergency services worked tirelessly to control the blast and prevent it from spreading to nearby buildings. The Rajazinagar police arrived shortly after, condoning of the area to ensure public safety. Authorities have advised people to avoid the area as the situation is under control. The fire's cause is believed to be linked to a faulty battery in one of the electric bikes, though investigations are ongoing to confirm the exact cause. Fire officials remain concerned about the potential for further explosions from other bikes inside the showroom. In a tweet, a man who had visited the showroom the day before to collect his newly serviced bike was shocked to return and find the showroom engulfed in flames. Local authorities are continuing emergency operations combined through the wreckage to ensure no one else is trapped inside and to provide support to those affected. Ukraine's military used American-made ballistic missiles on Tuesday to strike into Russia for the first time, according to senior U.S. and Ukrainian officials, just days after President Biden gave permission to do so in a major shift of American policy. The pre-dawn attack struck an ammunition depot in the Bryansk region of southwestern Russia, Ukrainian officials said. Russia's Ministry of Defense said that Kyiv used 6 ballistic missiles known as ATACMS for Army Tactical Missile System. A senior American official and a senior Ukrainian official who spoke on the conditions of anonymity to discuss ongoing operations confirmed that ATACMS were used. The strike represented a demonstration of force for Ukraine as it tries to show Western allies that providing more powerful and sophisticated weapons will pay off by degrading Russia's combat capabilities and relieving pressure on Kyiv's overstressed forces. The attack came on the same day President Vladimir Putin lowered Russia's threshold for the use of nuclear weapons, a long-planned move whose timing appeared aimed at showing the Kremlin could respond aggressively to Ukraine using American missiles to strike Russian territory. The Kremlin has throughout the war used the threat of deploying its nuclear arsenal to try to deter the West from providing more robust military support for Ukraine. On Tuesday, Russia's Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov called Ukraine's use of ATACMS in the Bryansk region a signal that they want escalations, a reference to the US and Western allies. Ukrainian officials and military analysts who have long questioned that no single weapon will change the course of the war noted that the impact of the shift in White House policy will depend on the quantities of missiles being supplied. President Zelensky of Ukraine has pleaded for months for permission to use ATACMS to strike military targets inside Russia. The Biden administration finally relented and gave its assent, a decision that was driven in part by the additions of up to 10,000 North Korean troops to Moscow's war effort. The authorizations came just two months before the return to office of President-elect Donald J. Trump, who has said he will seek a quick end to the war in Ukraine. His elections has cast uncertainty over whether the U.S. will maintain the robust military support it has provided Ukraine under Biden or whether Trump might take a different approach on policy toward Ukraine. On the battlefront, Russia is leveraging its advantage in air power, artillery, and personnel to melt through defensive lines in southeastern Ukraine. By taking aim at logistic centers like the one targeted on Tuesday, Ukraine hopes to make it more difficult to supply Russia's forces engaged in relentless assaults. The Ukrainian military's high command, known as the General Staff, said that Tuesday attack took place at 2:30 a.m., destroying warehouses with ammunition and triggering a dozen secondary explosions. Andriy Kovalenko, a representative of Ukraine's National Security and Defense Council, said that the strike in Bryansk hit warehouses housing artillery ammunition, including North Korean ammunition for their systems, guided aerial bombs, anti-craft missiles, and ammunition from multiple launch rocket systems. The Vladimir Putin-led Russia has commenced the serial productions of mobile bomb shelters that could protect against a variety of threats, including shock waves and radiations from a nuclear blast. The emergency ministry in its statement said that the KUBM shelter could offer protections for 48 hours against these and other natural and man-made hazards. Among those it listed were explosions and shrapnel from conventional weapons, falling debris from buildings, dangerous chemicals, and fires. The KUBM looks like a reinforced shipping container and consists of 2 models, a room for 54 people, and a technical block. More models can be added if needed, the institute said. The announcement did not directly connect the move to any ongoing crisis, but it came just days after the Biden administration approved Ukraine's use of U.S. long-range missiles to strike deep within Russia. This decision was met with strong criticism from the Kremlin, which labeled it reckless and warned of a retaliatory response from Moscow. President Vladimir Putin on Tuesday approved a new official doctrine that could lower Russia's threshold for using nuclear weapons. The mobile shelter is a multifunctional structure that provides protections for people from various threats, including natural disasters and man-made actions, the research institute said, calling it an important step towards improving the safety of citizens. It can easily be transported on a truck and connected to water supplies, and can also be deployed in Russia's vast northern permafrost, it added. That's all from us tonight, and we thank you for joining our program.